You ever use an app or a website and just think to yourself, wow, this just feels good? It's kind of hard to explain, right? But some digital products, they just feel special, almost alive. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the tiny, almost invisible details that are actually creating all that magic.
So, what is it that makes a product feel like that? What's the secret ingredient that separates a clunky, lifeless tool from an experience that feels responsive and delightful and, I don't know, almost human? It's not just about looking pretty or working the way it's supposed to. Nope, there's something else going on. Let's think about it in the real world for a second. Picture a luxury car. It's not just about getting you from point A to point B, is it? It's about the feeling. It's that super satisfying solid thunk the door makes when you close it, or the subtle hum of the engine, the soft, welcoming glow of the dashboard. These are all these tiny, deliberate details that are designed to scream quality and care. And today, we're basically looking for the digital version of that satisfying thunk.
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start by uncovering design's secret heroes. Then we'll get into designing for the heart, not just the brain. After that, we'll see where the logic meets the magic when we put these two ideas together, and by the end, you're going to have a whole new way to see the digital world around you. Okay, so who are these secret heroes? Well, they're called micro interactions. And trust me, they're happening all around you, every single time you pick up your phone or use your computer. Think of them as the invisible workhorses of a great user experience. So the official definition is a small, self-contained moment in a product that does one single task and gives you immediate feedback. But in simple terms, it's really just a tiny conversation between you and your device. You do something, and the device immediately lets you know that it heard you. And you see these literally hundreds of times a day. You know, when you like a post and a heart just bursts with confetti, that's one. When you pull down to refresh an app and you see that little icon spin, that's one too. The subtle click and slide of a toggle switch, even that little no-no shake when you type the wrong password, that's a micro-interaction, saving you from frustration. Or how about when a trash can's lid flips open as you drag a file over it? All of them. And this is the really crucial part. The best ones, they're almost invisible. They just blend so perfectly into what you're doing that you don't even consciously notice them. But, oh, you feel it when they're gone, or when they're done badly. The product suddenly feels slow, broken, or just plain frustrating. Their absence creates this little void of uncertainty. So how do these little moments actually work? Well, designer Dan Saffer broke it all down into 4 really simple parts. It all starts with a trigger. That's you doing something, right? A click, a tap, a swipe. That sets everything off. Then come the rules. This is just the logic behind the scenes, telling the system what to do next. The third part, feedback, is arguably the most important one. This is how the system talks back to you. That little animation, a sound, a vibration. It tells you, hey, I got it. And finally, there's loops and modes. This just handles what happens if you do it again, or how things might change over time. So, okay, understanding the mechanics is one thing, but just making something work isn't really enough, is it? To make a product truly great, we've got to move beyond just function. We have to start designing for emotion. We got to design for the heart. And emotional design is, well, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's the deliberate act of crafting an experience to make you feel something positive. We're not just trying to make something usable anymore. We're trying to spark a little joy, build some trust, create a moment of surprise, and at the end of the day, forge a real emotional connection between you and the product you're using. And to really get how this works, we can look to the legendary cognitive scientist Don Norman. He came up with this idea that our emotional response to any design happens on 3 totally distinct levels. Okay, let's break this down. First up is the visceral level. This is your gut reaction, that first impression. It just answers the question, is this beautiful? Next is the behavioral level, and this is all about usability. Is it easy to use? Does it actually work well? But the deepest, most powerful level is the reflective one. This is all about the long-term relationship you form with a product. It answers, how does using this make me feel about myself? And that, right there, that's where true brand loyalty is born. So, now we've got these 2 big ideas, right? We have the mechanics of microinteractions on one hand and the psychology of emotional design on the other. This is where we bring them together. This is where the logic meets the magic, and it's where good products become absolutely great ones. And here it is. This is the core takeaway. The absolute best microinteractions are not just about function. They are tiny, targeted vehicles for emotional design.
Their job isn't just to tell you something happened. Their job is to make you feel something about what happened. They don't just give feedback, they give you a feeling. This slide just nails the difference, doesn't it? Functional feedback is just cold, hard data. The counter increases by 1. I mean, it's accurate, but it's boring. Emotional feedback tells a story. The heart icon bursts into confetti. See? This isn't just about counting, it's a tiny celebration. It's a small moment of joy that makes a simple action feel so much better. I mean, think about the like button on your favorite social media app. The goal isn't just to add your name to a list. The real goal is to make the act of showing you like something feel satisfying and fun. That little animation, it validates your action and just makes it feel a little more meaningful. Or what about a password manager? Sure, seeing the words login successful is functional. It works. But seeing a little lock icon animate shut with a really satisfying click sound, that's emotional. It doesn't just confirm you logged in. It powerfully reinforces that feeling of security and, honestly, relief. So once you start to see this connection, this bridge between tiny little details and big emotions, you just can't unsee it. You've basically got a new lens to look at the digital world with, and you can start to notice this invisible language of design that's speaking to you all day, every day. So why does all this matter? Well, these well-crafted little moments do a ton of heavy lifting. They get rid of uncertainty, they guide us, they stop us from making frustrating mistakes, but most importantly, they inject personality and joy into what could be a really sterile experience. And over time, all these small positive moments add up to build trust and create really deep brand loyalty. So the next time you're using an app that you just love, really pay attention. Notice the little animations, the subtle sounds, the feedback you feel in your hand. You now have the language and the framework to understand why those details work and why they make you feel the way you do. You can finally see the magic. Because at the end of the day, every tap, every swipe, every click, it's all part of a conversation. The best designs aren't just passive tools we use. They're active partners, speaking to us through this language of small, thoughtful details. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what are they saying to you?